What's going on? What's going on? It's the Real AF Show coming back to you. We've been off for a couple of weeks handling business, but we're right back at you.
Yes, sir.
And this is your boy Frank, man, my man AK-47. What's going on,
What's up, everybody? Man, we back.
Man, a lot of stuff is happening.
It's been a lot, and of course, you know, with the introduction of the show, the artist needs no introduction. Some very unfortunate news. Last week, we lost a legend. We really did. And the most unfortunate part about it was we lost her on my birthday, August 16th.
Ooh.
So, yeah, a lot of people have been, you know, kind of looking at me funny. But, hey, when God calls you, you got to pick up that phone.
Yeah, even though we don't want to answer it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, man, happy birthday to you.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I said, ain't no gray hair sitting in yet. Y'all young bucks still good to go.
Oh, yeah. That's how we do it. And good genes in the family. So.
I can't say shit, man. I'm gray as fuck right now.
Man,
Oh, man. But anyway, I said, we're kind of talking about some stuff. We're getting caught up on some things. I said one of the things we're going to talk about today is a movie that both of us had a chance to see, Spike Lee's BlacKKlansman. But before we get to that, we want to just kind of do a rundown on some current events and things like that. Kind of like, your president.
man, even before we get to 45, let's talk a little. Let's spend a little bit more time on Miss Franklin.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people, you know, are hurting about this one, and I got a lot of friends who sing and who are artists and things like that, and you know, kind of talking to them, trying to get me to understand the importance that she had on the music industry was crazy. I mean, she was very appreciated, but I honestly didn't learn as much about her until last week. Mm-hmm. Of course, you know, she is a native Memphis Tennessean,
yes,
but Detroit is home for her. And she's just been known as like one of the premier divas of the industry in every respectable sense of the word. Mm-hmm. You heard the story about why she carried a purse and all that good stuff?
No, what's the story?
Yeah, now she's one of the few people. I thought she was doing it just, you know, because women like to carry their purses.
You're
but,
right.
you know, she take it on stage. But she's old school. One of the famous story goes about that is James Brown taught her back in the day, you know, when they did shows in the South especially, you would have white promoters who would jiff them or stiff them on their money. Mm-hmm. And so she said, nah, I ain't going. I need to be paid in cash. So every time you see a purse, she just got paid. She kept her purse where she can see it, cash payments only.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, wow, that makes
That's
so much
funny.
sense. Yeah. I'm like, how many? And as you see, and you can look at different clips through time, and as you can see, every time you see her with a bag, they start off smaller and unknown, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger, literally with designer names and stuff. So I'm going to say she the one who really told you or taught us about what the term securing the bag means.
Man, I had no idea. That was funny as hell.
She's something else, man. She's something else.
Man, if that ain't Detroit, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Now, they also, you know, just like us, she passed away last week, but I did get word that they're going to have a funeral next Friday, August 31st. So, and you know, it's going to be closed to the public. They just want intimate friends and family and stuff like that to attend. But
so they're not going to do a public thing like they did for Whitney.
That I don't know. They might have an additional memorial service, but from what I've been reading so far, the funeral is going to be a private affair.
Okay. But you know what, though? That's probably the way to go because, you know, one of the things they've been talking about on social media is, you know, who's going to do the tribute to her, who's going to be the singer and all of that. I don't even want to hear anybody today try to imitate her because you can't imitate her. She was an OG. She was greatness personified through multiple decades. How many? What did she win? Like 20-something Grammys?
At least.
At least.
Numerous awards.
The number of inaugurations that she sung at, the number of official events. You know, it's almost kind of like, you know, Maya Angelou was like the poet of America. Well, you know, Aretha was the voice of America, you know, the singing voice of America. So I don't even know if anybody can really do her justice.
Well, speaking of tributes, you heard about what happened at the VMAs?
Oh shit! You talking about Madonna?
Yes. I mean, you brought up tribute, so I thought it'd be fitting to discuss that. Now, me personally, I like Madonna. She, coincidentally, me and her and the great Angela Bassett all share the same birthday.
No,
so,
I don't know that.
Yeah. Damn. So 8/16 Leos, we hella talented, but she fucked up Monday.
She wore dreads and was.
I wouldn't even call them dreads. I don't know what to call. She had on African garb, some type of.
It was just wet. I saw a picture of it because I watched a little bit of it, but we kind of turned it off because after Nikki got her complimentary award and all that, I was like, man, I got to hang all this up.
Yeah,
you get washed when you don't know anybody up there. They had the Backstreet Boys up there sounding like Broke Down Daddies, man. It was just.
I can't tell you the last time I viewed a whole telecast of the VMAs. I just don't watch it anymore. But yeah, I saw the clips and things like that, and I'm like, why is Madonna getting backlash? And then I saw the pictures, and yeah, it pissed a lot of people off.
She didn't even talk about Aretha that much. She was talking about herself and just some nonsense. And I'm like, why would you sit up there and disrespect Aretha like that? That doesn't even make sense. But
so you saying that if Miss Franklin was here to see that we're on 2 hours, she wouldn't approve?
She would have cussed her the hell out. Smooth out. And it would have been deserved because I'm like, why y'all even doing this? But, I don't trust MTV. I don't even trust BET to get it right. At this point, I think the Soul Train Awards, or maybe Essence, who knows?
Well, they all affiliated. Centric, BET, TV. I'm not sure about TV One. I have to do some fact checking about that. But MTV, VH1, BET, they all a hub of companies. So yeah, but I mean, I think they could have picked a better representation. I won't even say they had to be black.
Yeah.
It could have been somebody soulful or Mariah Carey or somebody who,
I got two people for you on that.
Who?
Fantasia.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to throw another one out here because his name was trending a lot. Tevin Campbell.
And it's funny. Yes, he has been trending. And, he made a point on Twitter the other day, speaking of the Madonna tribute and the backlash and stuff like that. But he made a simple tweet, and I was like, wow. He said, what do you expect when the show wasn't created by us?
There you go.
I mean,
there you go.
That's it. Like I said, Madonna, she's a legend in her own right. But, yeah, this is one she could have sat out on. I'm sorry.
It's like me talking about being on a vegan diet. No good damn well. Like, sit your ass down. That is really the equivalent of it. Oh, shoot.
But I'm pretty sure that there will be something in due time. And like you said, you gave out some great names, Fantasia, Tevin Campbell. You have to put her. I don't even know if I guess her frenemy. You got to put Patty in there somewhere.
Yeah.
They had a legendary. I don't know if it's a beef, but they weren't always on the same accord.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think at the end of the day, they all were sisters in their own right of how they led and their careers and things like that. So I'm pretty sure that she will be affiliated somehow.
Now, did you see where Fox News they put a picture of Aretha up and then they had Patty in the corner?
Man,
I'm looking at that like I don't even know why the hell y'all bothered.
That just and what I'm saying, they didn't give a real formal apology or anything like that.
No.
And I don't watch Fox News, but it came up on my feed, and I'm like, why is Patty in the background? It's about Aretha.
Yeah.
And then of course they just changed the picture and try to do it without anybody noticing or paying attention, but they got you.
They kill it. I'm just up there like, you know what? If you never follow her music, if you're not aware of what she was about, don't even speak on it. Just you can stay silent. It's okay to do that.
It's okay. Now, speaking of another tribute, you heard about the one Grandpa Al Sharpton did.
Oh, he misspelled respect.
He did.
What did he say? RESPICT.
He did. I was like, ow. I mean,
yeah.
It's not like it's a jargon or a street lyric. Respect is a natural word, and he dropped the ball. He's it's for my sister. We gotta show her a little RESPICT. I'm like, what? I was just baffled at that point. So.
I'm gonna give him a pass because he wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
I know he wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but it's a middle school, elementary school word. How can you mess it up?
I mean, she even spelled it out in the song, and I'm like, man, you killing it.
I know.
For now, we're gonna give you a pass on it because you didn't mean no disrespect, but I mean, but they killed it. But I really will be kind of curious to see, once everything is kind of settled down. I'm really wondering what kind of tributes to be put together because. Truth be told, the era that she sang and the era that she came up in, people don't even realize, how much of a voice she was during the civil rights movement and how much she stood up for people across the world, throughout her career. She wasn't just a singer, she put her neck out on the line on many occasions. And I'm going to tell you something else that I had completely forgotten about. She was married to Glenn Turman.
You know what? I didn't know that either. I forgot what. I think it was TV One I was watching, and they showed like a quick little show. And I didn't know that either. So you think that's how he got her to sing
on
the
different
credits
world.
in different world?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, because somebody on Twitter was saying, I didn't know she was married to Colonel Taylor. And I'm looking at you like, man, Glenn Turman got receipts. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Cooley High?
Yeah, he did. He was in his own right. Yeah, he did.
But I did not know they were married, though.
Now, one thing, too, that, she was very private about her personal life in many aspects. So there's a lot of things that people just don't know and, things she went through. When she shared stuff, she shared it. But if she didn't want you to know, nobody knew. I think even in her last days, a lot of people didn't know what she was sick from or even how bad it was. She just felt like, it's nobody's business. Like I said, in a very respectable way. And, I appreciate that. But she is a woman that has touched literally every decade since the 50s. And that's just something that just cannot go unnoticed. And I'm going to ask you the same question. But I was watching this biography on... like I said, TV One or whatever, and, they was talking about some things in her career, and one of the things that kind of stood out to me was they talked about her performance in the 1998 Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
How she, Pavarotti, who you guys may or may not be familiar with, Italian opera singer.
The Three Tenors,
Yeah. He was getting sick, and, fortunately, the day of the show, he lost his voice. And they asked Miss Franklin, could she step in and do it? And she was like, well, it's a 3-4 hour show, so I got some time to practice. How long you got? They told her 7 minutes. 7 minutes.